should be live. There we go. All right. So, right off the bat, we're gonna head into hardcore. It really wasn't pleased with that. 1 second. There you go. Hey, Zozo. Hey, JZ. Welcome. So, we are gonna head into the hardcore world today, because we did make the world eater work yesterday, though we did learn that I have to set it for a smaller render distance. But essentially what we're gonna have to do first is remove the old world eater, which is pretty good. But how are you guys? Everything good, I hope? Now, the only bit about this is that I have to remove the TNT first. And then we're gonna go and try and pick that up, because we don't have a lot of TNT at our disposal. I suppose good on you. And the bot joined, so now the chat should appear on screen too. Use it as what? Pardon? Alright, well, I mean, there's not a lot of things that are cooler than a cool rock, to be honest. We're just disarming this before it starts dropping the TNT when we break a wrong block. Because if I like accidentally launch the machine, I don't want the yeah, I did. I think the oh wait, I haven't been using. Ah, darn, we lost a lot of that sucks. Oh well. Okay. So the issue was that this machine is so big that it cannot show the full size. Alright, let's see, did it fall all the way down? I don't spot any hitboxes. That likely means that it fell all the way down. Yes, it's right here. It was pretty much just that some of it got out of render distance, or rather it was difficult to render all of the explosions and such. And by making it a little bit smaller, we'll have to run it twice, but yeah. I had to, like, it can only be 276 long. And even that is stretching it, but we'll try and lower the render distance so we can just see about all of it and not like the full thing. I'm just gonna make sure that there are no pieces of stuff lying. Oh, that's okay. Nice. Okay, perfect. That means we can take the machine apart from up here. Ugh, what a perfect flight. Pardon? Somebody's ringing my doorbell. Ah, it was just a traveling salesman. Question, what do you think about mobile players? I don't know. I don't have any particular opinion about mobile players, I think. It is kind of... it's... I mean, I love Minecraft, right? So whatever way people enjoy playing it, they should. I don't have any particular opinion about, like, you needing to play Java or on a computer or an Xbox or anything like that. Now, I do think that, or at least to me, Java on a computer is more enjoyable. More difficulty. Well, I know they decreased a lot of the like they made a suggestive algorithm that makes it easier to move around. But I think that's about the only thing I would probably consider to be harder. I'm not sure. I guess it depends on how you define difficult. I don't know. It's I think it's a difficult question in the sense that I think you should. Parts of it I think is definitely more challenging. I would reckon it's probably a lot more difficult building something big in mobile. Which would really bother me because I do like the big builds. But yeah, I don't know. It's sort of difficult to say, I suppose. Wait, if I just do this and then we go down and look for him afterwards. Let's just see where they... Okay, so there's a little bit that lands up here. Okay, so I have to make sure that I get that. That also means that I risk having stuff on the edges. No? At least not here. Oh wait, no, yeah, I do. This is such a big job. Not gonna lie. Like removing this thing. The stream is way, yeah, I guess so. But we'll see. Maybe a few more people will join in during the day. I'm drinking this thing that's supposed to be really healthy. But it really doesn't taste that great, which I suppose that makes sense. Healthy things usually don't. But damn, it's kind of rough to swallow, you know. There's actually yeah, it is only for Bedrock players, and I tend to try and stay away from duplication bugs. That isn't just like clever use of game mechanics. Like I can defend a sand duper, but I think the one you're talking about is the one where you can like copy netherite blocks and any full block pretty much, right? And you can just pretty much just break it over and over and actually get it. While I do see some merit for like defending it, I'm not personally a very big fan of like. Is it? To me, the grind is part of it, right? It's grinding for something difficult is what makes the difficult thing cool. If you cheat to get the stuff, it just becomes inherently less cool. At least that's my opinion on it. Because if you're willing to dupe, it's just creative with extra steps, right? I think. Hey, Meltdown. How are you, man? Yes, also. What question do you have? Ah, right. Getting up early is always rough. Oh, alright. Well, in that case, have a wonderful day, Meltdown. Hope to see you soon again. How I hate phantoms. I refuse to sleep though, so I can't hate them that much. Come on then, come on then, come on! Yeah, bugger off. JoGBT, what comes after October? November, right? I might actually be off on that. Give me a second. October, yeah. I was right. Yeah, sort of. I think there's nothing wrong with doing it. If that's how you want to play your game, I can sort of defend it too. But I do think it somewhat invalidates all the work you've done beforehand. So I haven't really spoken much about this on in my world here, but I once had a hardcore world where I actually did cheat. Rather, I revived after having died. And what that ultimately ended up doing is made my world feel pointless. Like, because all the things I had done in that world, and I was like, what, 900 days in, I think? This is many, many years back. What it ended up doing is just like made the world feel pointless, and like it hadn't, like it just didn't feel like my world anymore. And I ended up deleting the world after a couple more weeks of playing on it because I just couldn't find the motivation to do so. And I think, at least to me, I think if I were to abuse some sort of bug that allows me to get a massive amount of any type of block I could possibly want, it might. Alright, see you later, JSC. Stream is frozen. Oh, fucking hell. Thank you for letting me know. Just gonna try and do that, and then green and white. I usually, I think I like green better than white in most instances. Oh yeah, of course, man. You're always welcome in here to ask any questions you want. Then again, I would be kind of concerned if I like walked into like surgery and the room was green. I think I would like to for my room to have surgery and would to be white. So I guess that's also depends on the situation sort of thing. Bye bye, Jay-Z. It's taking so long to take this thing apart. And there's an entire another layer. Though the other layer is going to be a little bit easier because it's closer to the wall. So I can pretty much just break that and then like, everything's going to be good. Slime, I don't really care about. We can acquire a lot of that really fast. It's really only the machine parts. Imagine having a mechanical brain device in... I must admit, I do sometimes feel like I have that. Not gonna lie. That does happen on occasion. Where it's like, why is my brain slow? I suppose having one intentionally put in would be a lot worse. Surely they will die before they really get to... No! Well, I guess we can get that rail real quick too. That never happens to you? Huh. I don't know. I guess it is mostly a thing that happens when you like work really hard for a long period of time. Like when I'm super stressed, it happens more often than I would like to admit, you know? Really? Well, at least you're not a creeper. That's not what I wanted to do. How are all of these full? Surely there should be more space in here. We're just gonna have to go grab another shulker. Well, you should be careful about spending too much time in your nothing box. It's also. It's actually about one of the only differences between men and women. Men are capable, women aren't capable, of thinking about nothing. You should be sort of careful about doing it though. Prolonged exposure to the men's nothing box will decay your brain, actually. Why do I have fancy membranes in there? Bye. We're gonna sort this later. How do they work? What do you mean? It's just we're capable of men. It's I don't know what I'm supposed to do. No, it's about thinking about nothing. Like we're able to think about absolutely nothing. Which is it's a wild scientific concept because like men and women are much more alike than we are different. But that is one thing that men can do that women can't. Which I always thought was sort of a weird point. But it also makes a lot of sense, right? Alright, we don't want none of that. Get away with that. Now I have to break a sand block. Learn from my mistakes. Gotta get all the way up there. We'll take care of the pumpkins later. Huh. Is this preferable to the other? Why? Not sure. No, our piece of sand. Oh well. We should also still have a lot of sand left, so it's not really a big deal. We made it quite far, but there's still quite far. There's still a lot to go. Today might just be me going over the going over all of this, removing the machine, and then we'll build the new world eater tomorrow, but we'll see. Actually, I won't be streaming tomorrow. Me mum is coming to take care of me. It's very sweet of her, but I feel a lot better now today. But she's been over the last couple of days to help a little bit, considering how sick I've been. Had a pretty bad fever, and haven't been feeling too good for a little bit, so I guess it's just a little bit overwork. Oops. The other one is a lot more compact, which is going to be really interesting, especially to take apart. Because that might actually be really nice. Having like a really compact one, especially when we need to take it apart. I'm not sure I managed to pick that up. I think we're just gonna head down and see about all the stuff that we might have dropped down here. Hey Tim, welcome man. How are you? Well, I've still been better. I'm not fully back, so the stream won't be too long. But I'm at a place where I can start streaming again. I think. I still have a fever and still have what some would consider to be a high fever, but I'm feeling a lot better than I have been for the last week. So we can just pretty much deal with a few of the smaller projects. Oh, you just got a new controller? What sort of controller are you using? Because I bought one too, like not long ago, right around when where is it? I wonder, where did I put it? Ah, right there. When Dragon Ball Sparking Zero came out, I wanted to play it on a controller. So I bought this, like this, I think it's called Sense or something, and it's just like 25% bigger in your hands, which is really nice. Like I think like most controllers, no offense to anyone who might take offense here, but I feel like most controllers are built for people with small hands or kids slash teenagers, right? Because like when I hold a regular controller, it just feels tiny. Like it might break. And I'm not saying I have giant hands either. I'm just saying that it's something I considered a lot when I was like buying a new controller, because I don't know, I think it's something that isn't really talked about a lot. Like whenever I see anyone, again, I work in advertising, right? Whenever, and I guess that's just me getting old, right? But when I see some sort of electronic device being advertised, it is always almost with this sort of they're always doing it through, let's say, this controller or this mouse is this fast, has this new technology, is super cool, blah 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 blah, right? But honestly, what I was looking for in my at my age group anyway, was how big is this thing? Like, how big is it? How, like, because I want it to fit comfortably in my hands. If anything, I want it to be a little bit too big, rather than feeling a little bit too small. I just can't focus quite the same on gaming if I feel like I have to like death grip my controller because it's falling out of my hands. You know, I don't know if that makes sense to you, but it makes a lot of sense to me. Oh yeah. The texture pack, sure. Give me a second. I'll just land here, and then we'll quit out. Boom. Open folder. You sent it on Discord, didn't you? Resource packs. Continue download. Boop. I wonder, is it already in there? We'll try. See whether or not it works. We'll lock into the design world or the test world instead of the hardcore one, just to make sure that. Oh my god! That gave me a scare. Well, I mean, it's not that detailed, but it's kind of fun. Though I must admit, I actually prefer the regular totem, but it is sort of a fun Easter egg. I do prefer the regular totem just because it is like, because of the way it works with shaders when we have shaders on. I think it looks so nice. Like the fact that you can see like light coming off it, it looks really golden when you're wearing it. I really like that. Oh, it's actually really nice walking up here. Two zombies and a creeper. Well, actually, I could sort of probably hope that it just despawns before I get down there. Surely. I don't know. He looks pretty good, I'd say. I also once tried like a. Alright. Yes, shitty pigeons, get down here. A rocket is infinitely more worth than a phantom, so come on here. Well, I suppose the only benefit to the phantom is that it's sort of a free XP bar. Really? Let's just try that again. Skeleton? Oh, we definitely don't like to see that. Because he's definitely gonna get in range. Alright. Pigeons. Death to all. I'm pretty sure there was one more, wasn't there? Or is that just me? There's two of them? Oh no. Alright, get him away from the machine parts. The controller? Pardon? What do you mean by... How is the controller affecting how you hear me? Do you mean headset? Or... I'm sort of confused here. Is my... Are you using a controller as a speaker? Pardon? What is that? What is that? Oh, a zombie. Huh. He looked kind of weird. And there's a spooter up there. Well, we don't really care about spooters. You got a hearing feature? Alright. But do let me know if like I'm not being very loud, because I can probably move the mic a little bit closer. Though now I have to think about the sensitivity a bit. Alright, let's take on this. I scared you? Huh? How so? Oh, don't hit me down. Oh, you really shouldn't. You really shouldn't. I will always discourage people from vaping. It's a dumb thing. It's dumb. It tastes like shit and smells even worse, and it's not good for you. Alright, well, in Denmark we banned all flavors except for tobacco. Which I actually think that's a really good idea. Um, you shouldn't vape because of the taste or anything like that. So I think it's sort of a only really something that draws in an audience that are too young. Yeah, yeah. I think it's uncool and disgusting. That doesn't mean that I don't do it myself. It's and I think I'm disgusting for doing it myself too. I'm not even being hypocritical about it. It's just I think that's how it is. Like it's not really. Oh, you shouldn't smoke at all. I guess is sort of the point I want to get to. And quitting while you're young is a lot easier than it is when you're old and decrepit like me. Well, I mean, when I was young, or after, like I remember way back in the day, right? Back in the back in the year 1100, right? We went on a school trip. um, I think it was part of college or something like that. To Prague, where cigarettes were really cheap. Um, and there was smoking allowed um, in the hotel we were staying at. So of course we did, because that was really cool. But we also bought these shishas, like shisha smoking things, you know. And we overdid that quite a bit. And then I came home after like that trip, and I couldn't look at a cigarette afterwards. Like I couldn't. I physically gagged afterwards because like we had smoked so much. And I actually managed to quit for like 3 months. And then I thought, one day I just thought a cigarette would be nice right now, and I had a single cigarette, and I was back on it. What a dumbass. I feel like my frames are terrible. Why are my frames so terrible? Is there something here? I don't quite. Well, that really helped. Yeah, that really helped, it would seem. I guess it's reaching into somewhere in my... oh, damn, I shouldn't have removed that. Oh, well. It's reaching somewhere in my world that is quite laggy. I heard a skeleton? Oh, he's up there. In the sun. Oh, I suppose skeletons should be allowed to sunbathe too. Support skeleton rights. Until they do that. Bye. And there he thought he could get the drop on me. No. Well, I suppose we'll check if we have any important blocks here. It looks pretty much just like a bunch of slime, but oh no, there was a piston there. Oh, and another piston here. We'll also check all the way down while we're at it. Oh, would you look at that? A piston over there. No, that's a observer. Much more important. Nice. It's a cool controller. You think Turtle Beach is mainly South African, but yeah, I don't know. I try to talk as little as I can about it because I don't want anyone to be um, to think that it's okay. And if I do, I will take the sort of the side of it's disgusting and wrong because I genuinely think it is. Um, and I'm not saying my entire audience are kids, but a certain percentage for sure is. And I don't want them to think that it is a cool thing to do or something like that. That because some streamer does it, it's okay. Almost there. How many? Hold on. Fence membranes. Disappear. At least that layer down there is going to be a lot easier to remove, but I guess I'll get there eventually. Well, not quite yet, but at some point I might, yeah. And it's just unnecessary. But what else have you got going for you, Tim? All good? Yeah, pretty. Well, I mean, I'm still sick, as I said before, but I still got a fever, but I'm doing a lot better today than I was even yesterday, and a lot better than I. Oh, I guess our inventory is full. And a lot better than I was doing a few days ago. Let's just grab a few more rockets. It seems like we might have to AFK at the rocket farm too, or rather at the gunpowder farm too, soonish. Oh really? Nice. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Yeah, I think Salsa shared it with me. It's really cute. It is indeed really cute. Well, to be fair, he sort of came up with the first iteration of the watermark, or rather, a watermark of the. Oh yeah, wait, is that even visible on stream? I gotta check that out. Give me a second. Oh yeah. What do you think about my new watermark? I made a little bit of some. It's not visible on the Twitch though, which is sort of a shame, but whatever. Uh, 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 what's going on? Clicked on the wrong things. There we go. Yeah, I saw it. But why am I lagging again? Hello? Okay, there's something in this direction the game really isn't happy about. And I don't understand what it is. Where does my frame start going up again? So around 15, 16, and... Is it really just my base? No, it is not. My base actually lower. It makes them come up quite a bit. So why is it the frames go down over here? Is it the sheer amount of mobs down there? It could be. It could very much be. Like at the... I think I have 12 gigs dedicated to Minecraft. And I also did mess about with the shaders. Yeah, it is just the shaders. I might have to look into the shader packs and make sure that they're all on the same version, because that's usually what causes that sort of lag. At least in my world. If I have shaders that are from two different, or like the shader system and shaders that are from different versions of the game, then it sort of just bugs out. Phantoms, I mean, I would really appreciate it if you don't try and mess about here with me. Oh. Fine, death to all of y'all. Come on. Come on then. Come on then. Well, Salsa wanted to ask what I thought about it. But I can see why you wanted it to be a surprise, but unfortunately I have seen it. But it is quite cute, so. At some point I might try out some of that, because I actually really like the idea of having an intro like that. But maybe one day we'll try and update it into like a 3D version. I just killed off the pigeons, come on. I guess there's no rest for the wicked, eh? Oh, well, that's pretty good. I really like the idea, at least. It's a good fun and sort of cute idea to do. Also, just as an intro. Alright. Of course, we still have to take care of the pumpkin line, but we'll do that afterwards by just running across it with the axe. That shouldn't take too long. Oh, I thought that was sorry, a skeleton. There we go. More pigeons. Alright, come on then. Let's just take care of that skeleton first. Bye bye bye. Come on then. Come on then. Well, this is a different TNT Trooper, or rather a different design than the one we have in the test world. So I guess it's just that. Nothing more to it, really. It's just a different design. And I think it's like too big. I think that's the main issue. That it causes a little bit of lag. Why this version isn't working of it, because like supposedly it is supposed to work, and I don't quite know why it isn't, but I guess it is what it is. I really don't like that. We'll have to... oh, he landed on a bit of a... good for that creeper, I suppose. Just go down and grab this. Membranes, we don't care about those. More fancy membranes. And we definitely don't care about rotten flesh either. Oh, that's perfect. Now I don't have to use rockets. So get up and down. But first we'll... Can I hit that guy? Ah, damn. He moved a little bit. Alright, death to the pigeons. Alright, and now we remove all the pumpkins. And there sure is a lot. Oh. I'll see later, doing just fine. Perfect. Yeah. Oh well. Ow. Okay, I did not see that coming. Okay, so this is where I need to stand. Huh. He's not having such a good time over there. Okay, at least this should be pretty simple, but let's just empty out our inventory and knock him off. Oh, can't go that way. Just so we won't have to come back here right away. Really? Was that not enough shulkers? Really? Hold on. Pull that out. Well, I suppose we're getting more shulkers then. At least we can do it quite quickly. Two more should do the job. Okay, and I think we're just gonna start at this end down here. I wonder how much I can reach from there. Can I reach all of it? Almost. Damn. Can't reach those. I'm sure you're probably gonna be good. You're likely not gonna have something weird lying around, surely, right? Why would you have something that's poisonous lying around? So I reckon you're probably gonna be good. Oh wait, if that's a line of unbroken line of pumpkin, then I might be able to walk on this instead. Perfect. Due to the rain, we can like quickly jump down without having an issue there. And we're jump down to pick up all of the blocks that fell down here. There was a label. What do you mean? Pardon? Oh, rain makes things so much easier. Pardon? I'm not sure I'm following at all. I suppose we'll head down and grab all of the stuff. Well, surely you'll be just fine. Surely you'll be just fine. Alright. Yeet. Having a trident in the rain is so nice. Like, I cannot, like... It's such a good tool when you want to move fast. Alright, well, if they come walking up to me with a piece of paper, I might, see what they want, but you can't just come walking toward a stranger, like, on the street and go, right, and then, like, expect them not to, like, try and get away from you. I think that's pretty good life advice, generally speaking. Don't walk up to people on the street and just sound weird. Don't drool down on yourself, and like if you wanna, like, let's say you meet me in real life, right? If you smell like death and you haven't showered in like forever, there's a very good chance that I won't want to give you an autograph. I think that's a fair assessment, you know. Hey, Dog Eagle, welcome. It's been a wee while. How are you, man? We are currently removing a world eater that doesn't work, which kind of sucks because it means we spent a lot of time on building a world eater that doesn't work for our world. But I have found a new design that does, so we're just pretty much going to be switching them out. Whee! Let's make sure we pick up all of this good stuff down here. Because this is gonna be what we built the new World Eater with. I'm hoping that the new World Eater is gonna be about the same in materials, but we'll see. Oh, damn. Tomorrow should exam result distribution day. Damn, dude. Are you excited or are you dreading it? Oh wait, I only have one rocket. She. Alright, well, I suppose there's water over here. You're nervous? Yeah, I get that. I get that. In 12 days, I'll know whether or not I got into law school too. So I'm sort of there with you. I mean, I'm pretty. I'm pretty. Well, but still, it's always nice to see if your hard work paid off. We don't need that. It's always nice to see if your hard work paid off. Because I mean, like, if you work hard and you aren't getting anything for it, it's difficult to stay motivated. So it's a real, like, even if you know your grades are gonna come back good, it's always nice to sort of get that confirmation that you were indeed doing as good as you thought. I personally had a couple of mates who for some reason always thought they were doing super well. They thought they were super smart, and their grades were average, right? Which sort of contrasted with their self-view. And while they were pretty sharp, I suppose, they just didn't put in the hard work, so their grades didn't really improve that much. And eventually they had just like slacked for so long that they couldn't catch up, which was I almost fell into that camp for a while. There's people who teach Minecraft. Pardon? How? How? I would call that a scam, 100%. There's no one way to play Minecraft, and I think that's the best part of it, isn't it? Or is that me? Or is that just, like, me? I think I would get really upset if people told me how I needed to play the game. Like, sure, they can give me tips and stuff, but if you're teaching people how to play Minecraft, I suppose you have to grade them, and you have to grade them on a specific metric, and if there's a specific metric, then there's a correct and a wrong way to play the game, and I think that's just... Why would you impose that on the sandbox game? What? Ah, right, the redstone. Well, I suppose you can teach people how to do redstone. There is a right and a wrong way to do redstone. Or at least there's a way to do redstone that's a lot smarter than the rest. So I suppose okay, I'll grant you that. People can be taught how to do redstone. Um, Personally, I have never wanted to do redstone at a good level, so I've never really tried. Which really bugs me out in this series here, because it means that I have no clue of what I'm doing right now, for an example. And I had to learn so much in order to just like make that world eater work. Which also really sucks. Ah, right, Minecraft. Ah, right. Yeah, I think Minecraft can teach people things too. I think it's sort of like you could, like whenever I commit to a big project, right? It teaches. There are some general life advice in it where it's like it's teaching me a little bit of patience, especially when I first started out making big builds. It taught me a lot about the patience to sit down and just grind it. About God, because when the new version comes out, you load your world in the previous version, and it makes in the previous version to it, and then it tells how God will make a better Earth after Judgment. There's no way that's gonna happen. Like, Minecraft might actually cease to exist if they do that. It will plummet in popularity, so there's no way they're gonna do that. Like, why would they exclude 70% of the world? 80% of the world? Why would they risk offending them? There's no way. No way. Of course it's true. Like, look, if... unless, like, no matter what religion they pick, even if they create their own, right? Most religions say that you're not supposed to look towards other gods, right? Or other false gods, they would usually call them. So suddenly you would exclude the majority of the Muslim population, right? You'd exclude all Catholics. You might still be able to hook on some Protestants. You would exclude Hindi, a lot of Japanese lore. Like there's like just that would be a terrible choice to introduce a god figure into Minecraft. That might actually be the worst idea from Minecraft I have ever heard. I really hope that's not true. You want to be a Protestant? Oh, really? Well, technically speaking, I'm a Protestant. Or a Christian. However you want to. Well, I guess we're picking up blocks now. I wouldn't say I'm a firm believer in anything in particular. I think a good way of putting it. It's not that I necessarily believe that there might be a god. It's more that I believe that there is one. It's more that I fear that there might be one. I think that's probably a better way of putting it. The Discord invite doesn't work? Ah, I'll fix that right away. Thank you for letting me know. Boom, 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 boom. Never generate new link. Copy. Alright, okay. Discord. There we go. Yeah, I do, but I sometimes overwrite the link for a particular. Well, it's all about personal belief, right? And people are welcome to believe anything they want. Personally, and this might come across as rude, but I like the societies that believe in the Catholic or Christian version of God a little bit more. I've visited a lot of countries, and I like those a bit more than the rest. I suppose. In the video description, there should be a link now. I can also post it right here. Just for... There you go. So now you don't have to look for it. Almost done with this, which is pretty nice. I guess we'll also try and take care of those machines there today. Just because I don't really want to lose all those machines. Really? The link doesn't work? Really? It works for me whenever I try. It says invalid link? Really? suppose I could try and generate a new one. Give me just 1 second. Well, we'll just check whether or not it is... okay, try again. It looks to be the exact same link. Do let me know if that worked. Yeah, it is. That was supposed to be a newly generated one, but it doesn't seem to be newly generated. Why? Invite? Okay, I can... Apparently the link continues to be the same if I don't... Try that one. What do you mean, by what time? At my place, it is 4:30 p.m. and pretty close to the limit of what I got in for me today. So we're pretty much just gonna take the rest of this machine apart and then we're gonna call it a day. It works now? Great. The one I sent you is a temporary link, but both links work for me, just saying. So if it doesn't work for you, try and reload your browser or something like that. Alright, yeah, try later. It might just be some weird thing. Alright, wait, hold on. Let me show you around probably. So let's just pick up all of this here. And then I'll show you around. I do appreciate it though. It's always really cool to show off my world, you know. I'm quite proud of it too, so we'll just pick these babies up here. Guess there's quite a lot of stuff here. Excuse you. That I really don't want disappearing. Oh, did you get on the, nice. Alright, so let's first go up here. Because we will then turn on the shaders. Just right over here, we have the actual world, right? So bear in mind, all of this is built by me. Um, all of it took a while. I currently have some mods that aren't working too well together, which is why we have the lag this hard, but this is what the world currently looks like. Um, we have the major skull there in the background, and all the mountains, which I'm really happy with. And then we have sort of this fantasy village down below. Over here, though, we have a massive dragon that took forever to build, but we managed quite nicely, I think. Which is the current biggest build of the world. Sort of swirling away its way around a huge beam in a floating island. The beam comes from this temple down here, which I'm actually really pleased with. I love how that turned out. Down here. But yeah, it's a big world, and I really have to fix those mods to make sure that they're running the same version. Inside of the skull, we have the nether portal. And inside of the mountain, ow, we have all of my redstone stuff. Though because of the lag, I'm not going to be spending too much time here. Well, trust me, that was my first attempt at something that big. Usually in all my other worlds and playthroughs, I've never really tried building something that big. I've really stuck to I've built big houses and stuff like that. I've just never really built too much of what apparently the community calls organic shapes. And whenever I tried, I was really bad at it. So I sort of challenged myself on this series here to where they should be the main focus, because I know I can build I can build a monastery, I can build whatever I want building-wise, and make it look really good. But I haven't really been able to create lifelike structures. So that was sort of the goal with this series, or one of the goals at least, my building goals, growth goals. That I should make things look good. Well, organic structures are like you build a thing that is supposed to look alive, or like a statue of sorts. The community calls that I've learned since an organic structure. And this is actually also what we're going to be doing here once we clear out all of the middle thing here. I'm actually pretty sure, it's actually super easy making a cube structure. Well, I suppose I can show you rather than just tell you. It's actually super easy to, get started on a cool house. So let's just try with some spruce. I'm just gonna go for a very simple structure here. Stone, bricks, spruce, stairs, trapdoors, leaves, and a little bit of fence, right? So, like a cube structure would probably look something like where I'm just gonna make one in small scale. something like this, right? And then you'd put the walls here. But instead of doing this, right, which is the regular way you do this, you would pull out this just a wee bit, and instead put the wood on the corners, on the diagonal, because suddenly you're bringing in 3D into the build. Right now it's already a little bit more detailed than it was before, right? So let's just continue that all the way through. Perfect. Then you can add additional effects like this on the sides here. Right, now you suddenly have sort of a wall that is a lot more decorative, and you've only used 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. You've only used 8 more blocks, right? And it's suddenly a lot more interesting to look at than just that. You can take this even further by simply adding a few more blocks to sort of curve out the... I'll show you it in stages. Like, because now we have this, right, which looks pretty decent. You can either go... You can either try and curve it out even more by going wham wham, wham wham, and then another trapdoor here. Because now you sort of have a full-on figure. Right? It's very little blocks you have to add in order to make something feel a lot more cohesive. And you can then additionally add some leaves, maybe a trapdoor there. You could probably also go with a different wood type, but just like very easily add in a bunch of structure to this. So by adding 4 more blocks, you now have this, right? So now you've used 12 blocks in total, and it just makes the build look a lot nicer. Then you can go additionally start putting in, you could probably go walls and then go, if you want even more detail to it. Here on the outside. Now it starts getting a little bit thick, which I personally dislike, but if you just want something that looks kind of nice, you have a very, very simple house by just trying to like take the otherwise sharp edges of the cube and try and like smooth them out a little bit. You can take this one step further, and like just knock out a bit of this to give the walls a little bit more texture. Here at like random, just like knocking out a few blocks. You can also do this while building, of course, but and comparatively to the cube you were talking about, which is just this, right? Because like these are identically sized and they use the same base blocks, but by simply just adding a little bit of texture to it, you can make it seem a lot nicer. Right? So those two are the exact same. One is just, well, they have the same base, except for I moved these out on the corners. So, wow, this is actually a little bit bigger, but hey, whatever. Uh, like you can quite easily make that look nice. You can even, in case that you don't like this bit down here, you can add probably go with something like just oak leaves down here. If you want sort of a more overgrown look. And if you then add in additional details, you can do that quite easily by, for example, adding this here. Into the build. And then just to crank up the coolness of this, we'll just turn these on. Right, and then you suddenly have like sort of a really nice space for whatever build you want, right? And you can do this to a much larger scale too. But that could be a beginning on a small house or on a tower or anything like that. Like if you were to transform this into a tower, you could pretty much just copy the design right on top of it and then just keep going up. And then you'd have a much nicer shed than just that, right? It's super easy taking things from that to that. Of course, you can do a lot more to this if you want it to make more intricate buildings, but like that's a super easy starting spot. Because you're, like in this case, right, if you're looking on this side, you're just adding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, and then some leaves, right? It's a super, super easy way to just make things look a little bit nicer. Instead of going with the this here. Hold on, let's just fix that. Instead of having that, alright, we're still missing this. Instead of going this way, you could also remove these and go out an additional block up here. For an example, right? Add a little bit of support to it. And a super easy detail, which I really like, is like stone buttons on the end of this. Because I think it sort of looks like a nail that's gone through this, right? Then you could change the lighting up so that the lighting is here instead of in the middle. Close that off. Something like that, right? Yeah, texturing does help quite a bit. And there are multiple ways to texture too. So if we take this stone, start, because stone is one of the things you quite easily have access to. You might want to try and find a palette that sort of works really well with it. And you can sort of keep taking this really, really far. You can even add in some tough if you wanted to. Right, because then you could start off your build from the bottom. Let's say you make a stone wall. And as I said, there are multiple ways of doing this. There's the intentional texturing, which I think is really difficult to work with. But it works something like this. Where you bring it up a little bit each time with the same sort of thing. Which is so, I think this is a sort of difficult style to build in, and I personally don't do it a whole bunch. Just because of the difficulty, because I think it's sort of rough trying to imagine this when building it. But it can look really, really good if you nail it. It can look really, really good. What I do usually though is let's just get another stone brick. What I do usually though, which I think works almost as well, but is essentially just fill up my hotbar with the blocks that I desire to have in the build, and I just scroll really fast through it. That gives sort of a random look to it, which I think works quite well, but I guess it's really up to whoever is building. I know a lot of people who really prefer the other style quite a bit. And I do think the other style has more potential than this does. I am like secretly working on my own to try and get the hang of the other style, but I think it is very difficult to do smoothly, and especially like when you're tired. But then you get something like that, which I also think can look quite good. It is a very different style from the rest, right? But I sort of think it sort of depends on what stuff you sort of want to do. And then you can like just bring in the after you made the general walls, again just in with the pillars around it on the diagonals, right? Because then you have suddenly you've layered in another dimension to it, and then you sort of just start working from there. So I think texturing is very important, but like it makes things look a lot nicer when things are textured. Like if we just take this a little, like just adding in a little bit of stone to your stone brick makes the house feel a lot older and like it's been there for a while, which I really like. That it doesn't look brand new. In the hardcore world, one of the things I really struggled with was texturing the skull. Well, actually, there might even be a better example in the design world. Because in the design world, we have a major build, and that's what we're working towards right now. If I can find over there, that is sort of the issue. Because right now we've been working on these world eaters for quite a while. But I think if I go this way, generally speaking, we're gonna get to the area that I'm talking about. Maybe. Maybe not. No, I'm sure it has to be this way. Is this 0-0? What the actual... video settings? Alright, that way. Because I've been working with a lot of different texturings here. You might start realizing what we're going towards. I have a couple of iterations of it here. And this is usually my process. Like, I make a bunch of versions of whenever I'm like in to make a huge build. Hey gaming guy, you're on your way home from Germany. Nice, dude. Did you get a lot of candy? Oh, I really messed up with updating my shaders. But like that, this here, for an example, Dark Eagle is the most extreme version of texturing that I think I have. There's a lot of different blocks in this, and they're really, like they're all sort of in the same shade and intensity. So it doesn't look super weird. It does look a little bit weird though, when you're up close to it like this, but when you're from pretty far away... This is a damn slideshow. Jesus Christ. It looks so much better. In my opinion, anyway. Can I... allowed to quit out of that? Yeah, we can. Nice. Well, I'm not, unfortunately, not gonna be playing for much longer today, gaming guy. I'm still running a fever, so I'm pretty much just gonna remove the last bits of the world eater here. So like texturing is super complex and it is super difficult to get right, I think, especially when you're working with more than, like it's pretty easy like texturing with 3 different colors. But finding the right gradient if you want to be using like 7 or 9, that suddenly gets very, very difficult, I think. But try and start out with like just working with texturing on different kinds of wood. Like try and use some dark oak and some oak, or spruce and oak. Oak usually goes well with a lot of the other wood types. Well, I mean, I am a lot better. I still just have a wee bit of a fever, which is really not nice, but I am a lot better. I think, what was I at, 39 this morning, which There's still a fever for sure, but comparatively to the 41 I had like a couple of days ago, I'm way better. I just don't quite have the same power to stream for the 3 hours. I think I'm even like probably a bit further than my limit right now on the 2, but just got over the border. Nice, dude. Back in Denmark. Alright. Almost done removing the world eater, which is really nice. Alright. Have a wonderful day, man. I hope to see you again soon. Alright, and now we just have to pick up the final blocks. Which shouldn't take too long. And here we go. Everything is nice and cleaned up now, more or less. We still have a couple of stragglers, but I don't think I have the energy in it for me today. So we'll have to take care of those tomorrow. No, sorry, no stream tomorrow. But we'll have to take care of these the day afterwards, I suppose. And then we can start building the new world eater. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching. I wish you guys a wonderful day, and get back to your home well, gaming guy. Until what day will be? I don't know. I don't even know what the day is anymore. But until next time, cheerio, and Joe out.